who are you and what's your channel about? What can they expect from the content that you produce?
Yeah, that's a loaded question because I've been around the block on Twitch for a while. It's been since 2012. I've gone from League of Legends to like horror games to I grew up on Friday the 13th, Dead by Daylight, made the really weird jump to like Just Dance. So all in all, I really am just a variety streamer. This entire endeavor, if you will, started as just a hobby and literally just a way to record all the funny things that me and my friends experience in video games. It was really meant just for that. I never in my wildest dreams would have thought that I would have more than 2 to 3 viewers. I never really thought that I would have a freaking check mark on my name. And I never thought that I would have, my face in Times Square. But most importantly, I also would have never thought to have found so many friends and to have like raised so much money for charity. Like those things made this entire 11-year journey like absolutely worth it for sure. But yeah, that's me in a nutshell. I'm a variety caster. In terms of content that you can expect, oh my Lord, I don't know anymore. I've been getting back into Just Dance. I've been taking a pretty long break from it, but I'm getting back into Just Dance. If I'm not doing that, then I'm playing Hunt Showdown or Destiny 2. Typically, my stream is a little bit more mature in audience, not so much that we're like super edgy or anything, but like really we do talk as adults in my community. Definitely known for a lot of my hot takes. A lot of really like unpopular hot takes. I always joke that I'm like a liability to work with because I do say a lot of things that people really might not find, I don't know, appetizing or appealing. But like I think people on the internet kind of forget that a lot of people are just multifaceted in general, right? Like especially in this content creation space, like people forget that content creators only show you what they want you to see and that there's a lot more behind the door that people don't know. And I'm not like that. I really am. When I say I'm a genuine person, you're getting everything you see on screen. And I think a lot of people that have met me, a lot of my community that have met me can kind of like vouch for that. It's like, yeah, dude, just because he likes one thing or he does one thing, it doesn't mean he's like a terrible person, whatever it may be. Like, you can say anything on the internet, someone's going to villainize you for it. I'd like to think I'm a good person with all the good that we've done. But yeah, a lot of hot takes.
Yeah, you like to keep it spicy.
We keep it spicy, man.
That's what some of your chatters are saying over there is keep it spicy. I've been there. I've worked in your stream a number of times. I've actively participated in it, and I think that's absolutely true. That's why I like what you do. And you often tell it how it is. And I think in a world of content creation where people are trying to be as appealing as possible, I think most people would kind of keep their mouth shut in particular instances. And I think what you do is awesome because you just don't give a crap, dude. And that's fine because you're genuine and sincere with it. So thanks for keeping it spicy, man.
I know we call it spicy, but it's like I don't think it is sometimes, like it's just real. I think if people were to have these conversations in person, it would be a normal conversation, right? But because we like you said, we live on the internet, and then we also live in the age of the internet where content sometimes gets taken askew and people post like full clips without full context and stuff like that. And I don't think the pandemic helped at all, but that for sure made it worse. But I think being able to say things and say what you want, people always complain like you can't say what you want anymore. Like, no, you can. You just have to be smart about it, and you have to say it the right way for sure. Because I know there's a lot of people you can scroll Twitter all day. You're going to find somebody that says something literally just for shock value. And like how sustainable is that, right? Like it's not like shock value is rarely ever sustainable. It's people like that I just shake my head at, and then I'll just, I'll bark at them on Twitter or something. I'll just roast them real quick, and then I'll just keep it moving, Yeah.
And the point that you make about Twitter, that's honestly where that's where a lot of that comes from for me in terms of my experience with you calling things out as they are. I remember,
Oh,
I mean, I
man.
remember Twitch featuring you somewhere on social media, you know, with your face in Times Square and all that. I think right around that time, I was like, that cool. Like, another Asian guy, I'm down. Like, that's awesome. So I followed you, and I remember at the time I hadn't yet made it to one of your streams, but I followed you on Twitter as well because I found it on your page, and yeah, I was like, bro, this guy's got takes, and I'm cool with that. And I can't even remember specifically because I'm sure there was a number of things that you call people out on, but that's the one thing I can rely on from you is that consistent. Calling it out the way you see it, and I think that's freaking refreshing, man. You know, you mentioned that you've been on Twitch for a long time. What got you into this whole streaming thing? What got you into this initial bout of content creation when you first started?
One of my friends had introduced me to Twitch when I was still in college, and I used to follow this dude, Civ HD. For anybody that's in the League of Legends community and that's been in the League of Legends community since like the start, you'll know who that is. And for a lot of people that don't, Civ HD was one of the first like League of Legends streamers to hit like $1 million for charity in 24 hours. And I believe somebody can fact check me. I believe it was for Save the Kids or Save the Children. I thought that was incredible. And I was like, dude, I've always, you know, again, being a gamer myself, I was like, that's incredible. I didn't realize you can do so much good with video games and, you know, not even like doing something in person. Like literally people just watched this and then donated to it. And it rallied so many people. One of my first streams was a fundraising stream, which was for Typhoon Haiyan, which I don't, if you remember, that was a typhoon that hit the Philippines, absolutely devastating. And again, this was somebody that was just starting. I ended up raising just over like $500. And this was before affiliate was a thing. This was when partner guidelines was like, you need 500 concurrent viewers like daily. And I was like, huh?
Yeah.
I just want to do some good, bro. So we literally just tried our best. And through the power of word of mouth, you know, it was for me, I wasn't on Twitter at the time, but it was, you know, I used Facebook and we reached our goals using Facebook. I reached out to League of Legends groups, League of Legends Chicago, League of Legends Midwest. And, you know, for somebody that had just started to hit $500, I was like, that's pretty incredible. Clearly there's something special here. You know, we'll just do it for fun and we'll just see where it takes us. And, you know, spoiler alert, we're here, but
right.
Yeah, obviously there was a lot that happened in between, but that was like 2012, 2013.
That's a huge deal, man. And I got to share with you that for me, what got me into Twitch was League of Legends. Actually, a combo of League of Legends and StarCraft 2. I was actually watching StarCraft 2 to begin with, and then through all the esports that was happening at the time, of course, League of Legends took over at that time. So I started watching a lot of Twitch. Like I was already in the Justin TV days, just watching random stuff. But obviously when the push for all the esports started to happen and you started getting the pro tournaments of StarCraft and League, it just, for me, it was the same thing. So I recognized the name. I was around at that time, just lurking in random streams, just watching things. And that's freaking awesome. I appreciate that. Also, it was charity work that really made you take the leap into Twitch because for me, it was Extra Life. Extra Life was kind of the thing that I was like, oh, I could totally stream and do some good with some gaming. And so I love that that's part of your story because you were in those times where it was very much what I would almost consider the Wild West of like streaming and content creation. Yeah. What were those times like for you? Like, what was that like just figuring it out alongside so many other people and trying to figure out like what to even do? Because we didn't even have half of the stuff that's available to us now as creators, right? So like, what was that like for you to get started?
I mean, again, so I really had no vision of what was going to happen after that that charity stream. So, you know, I had small tunnel vision, so it was that was it. I was like, you know what, it was cool to do that for like family and friends, so we'll just keep doing that. And it was fun to record all of, you know, I have all of these like fond memories, and I've said it sparingly before on stream, but like one of my greatest fears is to just forget, you know, be forgetful, or, you know, get hit with some type of disease where I don't remember anything, whatever it may be, Alzheimer's. It was really just a way for me to record content. But dude, like you said, the Wild West of content, man, it was it was crazy because I didn't have, like you said, nearly, I don't even think close to half the tools that I have now, right? Like I'm rocking a 2 PC setup, not to flex, but like my PC when I started this was almost on fire. Like it seemed like monthly. For anybody here that comes to my channel, I'm a big AMD hater, and it's because of what they did to me when I was in college, right? Because AMD was the affordable choice,
right,
in chipsets for literally all across the board, graphics cards or CPUs. But it got to a point where I had bought like 3 of their CPUs, and it was because of their FX series that I now have trust issues, and everyone's like, no, they got good. But too much trauma when I was trying to run a single PC setup off of an FX series chipset. And, you know, those people think they got tech issues today.
Yeah.
Dude, no, like you said, when we were all trying to figure this out in the early days, man, it was far, far worse because we didn't even think about 2 PC setups. And, you know, we didn't have half the tools like these stream decks and whatnot. So OBS wasn't nearly as robust as it is now.
Oh, yeah.
I never used anything outside of OBS, so I don't have that kind of experience with like XSplit or anything else. But yeah, OBS wasn't even close to being this robust back in the day. So tech issues today are, I don't want to be like that person that's like trying to one up everybody's issues. It's just like, I know tech issues today are so minuscule compared to what we had to deal with like way back when, you know?
Yeah, dude. You know, I started with XSplit of all things, and man, even back then, it was so freaking limited. Like you couldn't do a whole lot anyway back then. Same with OBS. And so I felt like you had to be you had to be pretty freaking creative to do things or to make things happen. And like my computer at the time was made up of just random parts that I could like buy from friends for like a reasonable amount of money, which I didn't have a lot of at the time. And like you, yeah, it always felt like it was overheating or like it could barely make something work while trying to stream simultaneously. So, dude, yeah, that's freaking insane.
I'm right there with you, man. I mean, I had a hodgepodge of parts that, you know, I either bought secondhand. I mean, I'll fondly remember my AMD HD 5870.
Wow.
I don't remember if that's the exact model, but I do remember that was like the first big boy graphics card I had, and it was, you know, a generation late, but I was so excited to have something that wasn't trash. And
absolutely.
Yeah, like I said, those AMD FX chips, those will forever be ingrained in my head because they were so awful to me, but they were what got me through it, and they got me really more into PC gaming in general. I've always been a PC gamer. I've been across the board, just consoles and PCs. But
yeah,
that, I think when I started streaming, for sure, that's when I started leaning heavily into PC stuff because I couldn't afford a capture card.
Yep.
And I could never stream from my consoles. So, listen, I'm right there with you. Honestly, dude, my streaming PC is a hodgepodge of old used parts because the streaming PC doesn't require that much power. But that's exactly what that is. That is built out of a bunch of leftover stuff. I think I have like a 1060 in there. It does fine. It does great.
It does the job, man. As long as you can make it work, that's really all that matters. Because I always hear like newer streamers or people who are trying to get into it. They're like, "Oh, I'm researching what I need, or I'm trying to figure out what all I need to get." And it's like, you don't like I usually ask them, "Do you have a computer that works decently?
Yeah.
Do you have a reasonable internet connection?" if you're good, like even like a halfway decent machine, then you can get going. And if you're not gaming, if you're doing stuff like just chatting, or you're doing stuff that just might need a webcam or two, that like you could start with whatever you've got.
Yeah.
Most people have the stuff they need to do. And phones now could achieve a lot if you're just trying to get started.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, the fact that you can do IRL streams from your phone, I need to figure out how people keep their phones from overheating, but I did do that for a bit, and then I sat out in the sun for just a little bit too long and my phone fried. But you're right. You're absolutely right. I mean, you can use your phone as a webcam these days. Like, having webcams are great. They're awesome. But like when you're getting started, man, and I always advise people against making the huge like purchases unless you're really bored and you've got money. Then whatever, dude, go for it. But I always tell people the best teacher is like learning how to use the shitty equipment first.
Yeah.
Because then you kind of learn to appreciate what you buy into when you upgrade and stuff. But like also, like you said, right, back in the day, we had to get really creative with how to do things and how to get things working. And I think that is also a great teacher when it comes to streaming, because honestly, if you can get past using older or aged equipment, bro, tech issues ain't shit. Like you're going to get it down pat, right? Like outside of things that are out of your control, like a power outage or an internet outage.
Yeah.
I don't think there's many tech issues that I've run into where I started like scratching my head and being like super confused and stuff until I started doing like the wonky like multi-camera work for like some of my charity streams. But outside of that, I always tell people, like, if you want to get started, dude, like you said, just get started. You'd never know what's gonna hit. And I'm still in that boat. Like, I was just talking to my moderators, like, bro, I might get back into painting Warhammer on my channel because one, that was a shit ton of fun.
Hell yeah.
But also, like, I joke, but I've like committed channel suicide like 3 different times at this point. So it's like content needs to keep rotating for me. I don't think I can stick to one thing.
Right. Especially when you've been doing this as long as you have. Like it'd be tough to like stick to even like 2 or 3 things given how long it takes, right? Like the life cycle of a streamer specifically is there aren't many people around for as long as you've been, right?
Yes and no. I mean, it depends, right? Like I think that's kind of a subjective question.
Fair.
Because yeah, anybody can have a really old account and say that they've been around Twitch for a while, right? But like, I think it comes down to like what you consider to be relevant and whatnot. So really, from 2012 to 2017, I think dude, literally it was just me streaming to like my friends. Like I was nobody. And then just per chance, in 2017, I got this huge jump in viewers and followers because I ended up in a game with some popular YouTubers.
Tell me about that. Tell me how all that went down.
Oh, yo, we're going into the
let's get in the time machine, dude. Let's hear it.
Not only the time machine, but this was also probably like the messiest era for AznSensation. It's like the dark origin story, but that's okay.
Yeah. Let's hear it.
I don't stray away from this story. I've talked about it many times. But so one fateful day in 2017, I got into a Friday the 13th game with Gorillafent and Bryce Games, or Bryce McQuaid as he's known on YouTube. Yeah, both very large, very wonderful content creators. But yeah, I got into one of their lobbies and we played a couple games together, and my laugh and my screaming is ultimately where people are like, who the fuck is this guy? This kid is a wild cannon. Like, this is crazy. I've got a pretty crazy laugh and scream.
Yeah.
For those that don't know, I sound like a fucking witch and a hyena put together. And those were back in 2017. Speaking of getting started, I did not have a good microphone, friends. I had like this microphone / like headset, like earplug headset from like China.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And it had like the pink cord, the pink aux, and like the green aux for like line in and microphone. Like it was that old. So imagine having that like high pitched scream and laugh going through that thing. Like I was peeking all over the place, but people loved it, and that's where the channel eventually got affiliated. I got affiliated off of that game. It's so ridiculous.
That's amazing. And I didn't know this story specifically. I should have known it was like I should have known it was your scream and your laugh that helped get you out there, because it's very freaking, like, it's very memorable and unique. And I remember I think that's why I probably followed you, was seeing a clip or a highlight on socials, because I'm pretty sure Twitch used that too when they were promoting you. I'm like, oh yeah, that dude looks hilarious. Like he's a freaking riot. So, and like you said, you were streaming, like, I think many of us can relate to pretty much your friends for years. What was
6 years, man?
6 years, man. Like, what kept you doing that? Was that just because you were just having fun, or like what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was literally that. And like, I don't advertise it as much because I honestly don't remember what's on these clips. But if you go far back enough, there's definitely older clips and stuff. And I just, again, to remind everybody of the times, like, things change. So I don't remember what was said on those clips. I know for sure I don't say anything sus. I can't account for all of my friends. But I mean, there's clips from like us just screaming during like the old PUBG days, like just fucking, I think season 3 of like League of Legends. Yeah, man. I mean, it was, to me, again, those are like memories. Those are things I cherish. So like literally that's all I was doing it for. And I think that's something I usually try to tell people when they get frustrated with their growth journey on Twitch. I think people absolutely fucking forget how long it takes and like how long it can take. Because like I said, for 6 years, I was streaming to literally only family and friends. I had no intentions of ever growing on this. Like, there was always a small thought of, if this turns into something, then, we roll with it. But really, like you said, it was family and friends and charity that got me into this thing and kept me going for 6 years. So, it's 6 years to even get noticed. It was almost like a month to get affiliated after that. And then it was a whole, like, a little over a year to get partnered after that. So, like, when people sit there and complain about their growth journey, I always try to, like, I don't want to be the person that's like, oh, it took you a year to get to this point. Well, let me tell you how hard it was for me. Like, that's not what I'm trying to do. But I think people always need to understand that they shouldn't be comparing themselves to others in terms of how fast they see success on this platform or any other platforms. Right. You got to move at your own pace. And even if your pace is slower than others, you got to remember why you're doing it. And I think I always say, if you're doing this for money, one, probably the worst and wrong reason, the only wrong reason, but two, if that is your reason, then I always tell people, I always try to remind them, like you said, like I'm gonna give it to you straight. It's not easy. So I always joke about people trying to make content creation like their living, and I always say, dude, don't do it. Like, don't put all your eggs in that basket. Diversify your revenue, diversify your skill set. Make sure you have a better backup plan. Yeah, 6 years, man. 6 years of family and friends, one to two viewers max for 6 years.
And I think that rings true for so many people here on this platform who stream, right? Like, looking at the stats, like, if you are even if you have an average viewership of over 20, you're like in the top 1.5% of streamers, right? Like even
Yeah,
with 20, most people stream to 1 to 3, like you were saying.
Right. Yeah. It's it's a couple of years old now, so I don't know if the statistic is still true, but I remember reading that if you had a consistent viewership of 15 viewers, then you were in the top like 10% of streamers of Twitch. Because you were absolutely right. Like if you go to any category right now and you scroll all the way to the bottom, you are going to be scrolling for a really long time to see how many people are literally just streaming to one or two viewers. Yeah, dude. So when people get frustrated at like, oh, I'm stuck at like 10 viewers, I'm like, I don't think you realize how good that is.
Oh yeah.
There's a whole nother side of that discussion for people that were more popular than that and have, what's the word, opposite of growth? Shrunk? Declined, yes.
Sure.
For people that have declined to those numbers, I totally empathize with that. But like for people that are still growing and they're frustrated with their numbers, it's like, dude, I just hope people realize how well they're doing. I wish I could tell every single one of those people, like, dude, you're doing great. You need to chill. But, right. You're doing something right if you've gotten to that point,
You mentioned talking about like how you've committed channel suicide, I guess was the phrase that you used. Talk about that, because I think that's definitely something that a lot of people might even relate to. Like when you talk about, sounds like damaging your channel or your viewership, like what are your thoughts on that, or what has led you to say that phrase specifically?
Okay. I really should change that phrase for triggering sake. But I've been saying it for years, so that's on me. I really should change it, especially considering my background as a mental health advocate. But I wouldn't be the genuine person I claim to be if I don't practice what I preach, right? So when I say I commit channel suicide, or basically a refresh, it's basically me shifting my content to something that makes me happy. So if I'm no longer happy doing something, why would I continue to make my life miserable by doing it? Like, I'm always here to make people laugh. I'm always here to entertain others. I'm always going to be in it for that. That's like the best part about this is if I can make one person, smile or laugh or just type in LOL, dude, my day's made. Like, that stream is a success. But like I said, over those years of all these years of streaming, things get stale, I get bored. I'm a human being, man. So I think my first time, I guess we might as well make the switch now. My first time refreshing my content on the channel and basically dunking all of my statistics and stats and whatnot was making that switch from like Dead by Daylight over to Just Dance. That's easily, without a doubt, like the biggest one. Because the one before that was League of Legends into, being a Friday the 13th / Dead by Daylight streamer. I think the biggest and most important one was that switch from Dead by Daylight into Just Dance, because there was so many different moving parts involved. And for anybody that's been there from the start, absolutely knows about this. There was drama, there was betrayal, there was everything, man. But it all in all, it was one, believe it or not, laughing and screaming every night at the fucking caliber that I do is actually very harmful to your throat. And dude, at one point I was losing my voice almost weekly. Wow. So I was like, I can't keep doing this. I'm sure if I saw like a ears, nose, and throat doctor, they'd probably be like, dude, what the hell are you doing? Like, are you singing karaoke like badly every freaking day? Like, what is going on here? But yeah, like that was taking a toll on me. So for health reasons, I was like, I can't keep screaming like this because, dude, my throat hurts. Like, period. That's it. I have a very big chip on my shoulder against Dead by Daylight. I think it's the most I am not I'm going to be nicer with my words tonight, but
All right.
I don't think it's a very well-made game considering the size of the community and player base. I find very little room for excuses for the problems that still persist to this day from whence I quit. Like, if those problems are still there today, man, I don't know what you're doing, but I don't like their community as well. Their community I find to be very toxic, and I used to play with some pretty toxic streamers. Like, let's put her there. You know, I say who it is all the time on my channel. I'm not going to be that messy on yours.
All right.
But unless you want me to, dude, listen. But yeah, I did it to get away from shitty people, period. Right. And like I said, I wouldn't be who I claim to be if I didn't follow through with those things, right? Like, one, the game wasn't making me happy. Like, it is the most infuriating game to play. And I play video games for fun. I say this as I play like the sweatiest shooters. But you know, if I'm not having fun, I'm not gonna put myself through that kind of emotional and mental trauma. It's just not fucking worth it. So that's like the first thing. I guess that's also considered advice for anybody that's starting out. Like, dude, you got to do whatever makes you happy. To me, I don't care about the stats nearly as much. I don't care about the sub revenue as much. Again, this was a hobby. So I did it to literally just get away from that. And you know, I guess the second reason, like I said, was to do something that does make me happy. You know, a lot of people had no fucking clue that I love dancing. Like, a lot of people didn't know that I was in a dance crew in college. A lot of people didn't know I grew up breakdancing in middle school. It was really cool when I eventually found Little Siha, and I you know, hung around that community for a bit, and I was just like, man, she is such a breath of fresh air and literal like sunshine to the internet right now. Like, the way she's always having a good time dancing, and she's always smiling, and she's always putting all that good energy out there. And she's not the type of person that's just like always that type of happy. Like, she does get real with people on the internet and stuff. And she has a much more elegant way of talking on the internet than I do. But I really resonated with that. And when I started streaming Just Dance, you know, that I was like, man, this is so much more fun than being upset at Dead by Daylight every night. You know, that's way more like it like the switch in my head just like flipped, because I had spent a little over a year hanging out with just some of the most toxic people. And of course, because that was my come up on Twitch, I didn't know any better, right? I figured this is how it is. I'm learning from these people that are clearly successful on YouTube and stuff. So this must be the way to do it. I again, me being new to it, I didn't realize that was only one way to do it. So it was really cool when the Just Dance community had kind of like welcomed me with open arms, because I was like, man, I didn't know you could truly be yourself and still find success and find great people on here, you know?
Yeah. That's really awesome that you were able to find that with just the Just Dance community, with Avery. Like, it's so night and day too when you think about like how some communities can be quite negative and toxic to a degree, right? And then you have someone like Lil Sia. Man, she's just so absolutely like diametrically opposed to that kind of attitude. Like, that is not the vibe you get at all when you hang out in her streams. So
for sure. And and yeah, so like you said, when it comes to these communities on Twitch or on Twitter, online, wherever, when it comes to these communities, like, dude, what I had thought was my community, I mean, they turned their back on me real quick when I had left, because they thought that I was using somebody to just basically get partnered. But I was like, I got partnered off of playing Just Dance. That was the push I needed. You motherfuckers, y'all were ready to leave me, and y'all did leave me when I started playing something else. So don't come at me with that. But like these communities, they can be such an echo chamber. Yeah. And I think it's super easy for people to get lost in that sauce for sure. And I think that is also really, like, to me, that's like super important when it comes to switching things up on my channel. It's like, dude, I don't want to be stuck in this echo chamber of opinions and stuff, because dude, again, they're all gonna attract they're all gonna attract each other with having those those same opinions or same views on things. And I was just like, I don't want to be part of none of that. So I like I said, for the sake of me, at least mentally, I was like, I can't be around that shit, man. That's crazy. So yeah, it was really cool to see that other side of Twitch, basically, like I said, welcome me with open arms. And I was like, oh my God, you can have fun while you're doing this. This is crazy. So yeah, dude, I think if people ever hit that wall or that block, or they're just not happy anymore, man, you got to switch it up.
That's awesome. I got a note to you that between like the Warhammer category itself, as well as like makers and crafters when they're painting the minis, those are some of the coolest communities I've seen on Twitch. There's some
Really?
Yeah, there's some super welcoming people. There's just some very friendly folks in the like I paint minis category, as well as the Warhammer enthusiasts that I've seen on Twitch. I admit I'm not a massive player or fan of it, but because my friend ArcFox is, I just kind of see the stuff in the peripheral, and I hang out in his stream as well as a couple others. So I think I would encourage you, if you are into the experience of finding other corners of Twitch that could be completely welcoming, or just give that kind of support. I feel like within those communities you may find some more love as well. So that's just been my experience seeing folks like that in those respective categories of Warhammer and makers and crafters, the ones that paint stuff. So
but no, that's dope though. I mean, we were talking about it in chat today, because Godfiend, like he said, he posts some of the minis that he paints in like our mod channel and stuff, and he shares it there. And it's always so fucking cool to see what people do, because while the models are always going to be somewhat the same or similar, the way people paint is so different. We did one not too long ago before I had moved, but I was painting one of like, I didn't want to commit to buying a whole army or a whole like set of units. So I bought one of those, like, I think they're like 6-inch figures or whatever that like Todd McFarlane had collaborated with. So I have one of those, and I got started, and then, as you would know, I went to the Philippines and got stuck there.
Yeah.
And then I came back, and I had to move. So it's in a box somewhere, but I had so much fun painting that. And honestly, I didn't realize it, but it was so good for another hot take here.
Yeah,
As somebody who runs hella ads on his channel, it was so fucking good to be able to just paint and like jam out to music, which gets muted on my VODs anyways.
Yeah.
But to just like paint, listen to dope music, chop it up with my community. And before I had known it, like at the end of one stream, it was like 6 hours long. I normally stream for half of that.
Yeah.
So I was like, bro, this thing had my attention for 6 hours, man. Like that's insane. Dude. So I talk about it, I joke about it all the time, but like I kind of want to get back into it as soon as I find that figure and I get another brush, because I fucked my brush up because I was doing a lot of dry brushing, and the starter set only came with one brush. So I was like, well, I'm not gonna be able to do any fine details with this.
Yeah.
But yeah, as soon as I get that out of a box and find another and get new brushes and stuff, I honestly wouldn't mind getting back into it, because yeah, man, who wouldn't want a solid community like that? And like I said, doing something that you love for such an extended period of time and jacks up that ad revenue. Dude, let's go, man. Let's go. I'm in. I'm all in.
Hell yeah, dude. I encourage you to, when you're ready, or when you find all that stuff, give it a shot. There's some cool ass people in like by extension, like the makers and crafters community. I mean, in chat, Tapar says the Gundam streams were similar. I remember you doing a little Gundam, and there's just such a healthy. We're getting into my territory now, in that I'm part of the Lego community. I build Lego. A lot of us stream in the makers and crafters category, or just chatting categories, but we're building Lego. And then like there's kind of this peripheral, like we're all adjacent to like Gundam builders and mini painters. So a lot of those groups and a lot of us Lego builders, we build Gundam as well. And so it's just that community, because you were talking about how your experience with the Just Dance community and Avery's channel and all that was just such a positive experience. Like you, I went from variety streaming to mostly Lego at some point, and that community was for me what Just Dance was for you, where like I had never felt so welcome, and like people were so awesome about saying, "Oh, dude, welcome to like Lego on Twitch." And it's
Hell
like
yeah.
that, it's like that weird like pocket that you never knew existed, and like out of the woodwork all these people started showing up. They're like, "You like Lego? Dude, hell yeah." And you know, like I said, the minis and like the Gundam stuff on the side are very similar, and there's a lot of intermingling with those groups. So I'm just going to say it, man, when you're ready to get into that, just to even experience a different side of Twitch, I highly recommend, dude. So,
I mean, dude, you got you got that Bowser sitting in the back, and I saw that was on sale. Yeah. It was on sale this week, and I was like, bro, I'm about to act up. I'm about to make a stupid, like a really irresponsible purchase, but it looks so cool, dude.
Yo,
yeah, I mean, we've done a couple Legos on stream, and like, just like the Warhammer thing, like, dude, I spent hours, way longer than I normally stream for, literally just building. I had built the BD one, which, you know, shout out to Jedi Survivor that just came out. Great game. Yeah. Just finished it today. Yeah. And then I built the baby Groot. And dude, those streams were fantastic. Like I literally just turned on music. Anybody that came in chat, you know, we were just chopping it up, having normal conversation. And I, you know, again, great for ad.
Great for ad revenue.
I'm never going to stop pushing the ad revenue. I think it's one of the best things. I think it's one of the best things Twitch has done, but you know, that's another hot, spicy take that I don't think the internet's ready for.
I love how that's your takeaway. You're like, yo, it was so good because the ad rev.
Okay. But like low key, you want to know why I'm such a big fan of it? I mean, like
I kind of know your spiel, but for those, you know, listening or watching, I'd love to have you like describe your thoughts and your take on it.
I think this is a pretty age-old, since the dawn of time topic. For the longest time, everybody on Twitch has been complaining about wanting a better sub split, right? And I tweeted this out recently. I think it was like about a month ago. Instead of a better sub split, I was like, you guys, maybe instead of a better sub split, I think you guys need a better perspective. Because people are sitting here and they've been adjacently complaining about, you know, reasons for why they're subscribed, like their community should subscribe to them. If we're not getting more than 50% of the cut, I'm like, well, honestly, you guys want a better sub split. Let's do the math. So I literally did the math one day, and I took my prior month's revenue, right? The entire amount of money that I had made, or no, I took all the subs and I multiplied it by 5, because that would be what a 100% sub split would be if Twitch didn't take any money from me. Then obviously I cut that in half to figure out what 50% was. Then I took my ad revenue for the month, and then I added it to the 50% that I get from my sub revenue. Those together, and I divided that by what 100% would have been, and it came up to like a little over 60%. And I was like, your better sub split is right there. You can still convince your community to subscribe to you, and you still stretch their dollar, because one, they don't even see ads. Like, what a great fucking thing to not have ads on Twitch. We all know that it's the bane of the viewer's existence. That's fine. Yeah. But it's, in my opinion, one of the best things to convince people to subscribe to you, or at the very least, use their Twitch Prime on you, because I mean, everybody gets a Twitch Prime sub every month. I know most people reserve it for like one specific streamer, but for anybody that does it rotating, you know, that's a great reason to use it. But I'm in this very rare situation where I know my subscribers every month. I know what that baseline is going to be. I don't want to say that arrogantly, because I'm very thankful for those loyal community members that stay subscribed to me. I know exactly what that's going to be every month. And because they're all sub to me, they're never going to see a single fucking ad.
Absolutely.
So they're like, dude, run all of them, run all the fucking ads you need, because if it's going to help you get paid more, and we don't have to do anything more than that, we're in. Like, perfect. And I was like, dude, what amazing support from the community. Like, they just let me run everything because they're all subscribed to me anyways. And like, I'm so thankful for that. And I think that if everybody could have that discussion with their community as well, I think they'd find that ad revenue isn't like the big scary boogeyman of discussion that it seems to be on streamer Twitter, which again, this is the echo chamber talking. Like, if you go on Twitter, everybody complains about ads. I'm like, bro, like, literally, if you could just convince people to subscribe to you, they never have to see it, and their dollar stretches further than you think. You just refuse to see it any other way. Like, if anybody wants to, like, I'm doing this not to be like big and like act tough, but like, if anybody else wants to try and like, I don't know, talk about my math there, I'm happy to talk about it. But like, for right now, dude, my ad revenue is better than the past 3 months of ad incentives. You know, when they were doing the ad incentive thing.
Yeah. Now
that they have this new program, my ad revenue is better than the last 3 months of ad incentive that they had given me. So I'm just like, what? I don't know what everyone's deal is, because this seems to be making me quite a bit of money, more than, not, it's an astounding amount of money, but it's making me more money than I had made in the previous 3 months of just ad revenue alone. So like, why are we complaining? Like, why don't we spin this a different way? Why does it always have to be so negative?
That reminds me, because as someone who, I mean, you're as a partner, you get these particular, splits with the ad revenue. But my question is, like, let's say a certain number of people have subbed to your channel. When you run an ad, does it count those people that would technically not see it? Or is there just a flat amount that you're given based on the ads? It doesn't even care who sees the ad.
Dude, I'm gonna be honest. I have no clue. But given how much I made in the month of April, I've got to assume that it depends just on your viewership. And if there's
so it doesn't care about specifically who's subbed or not.
I don't.
Yeah,
I don't think it does, and I think that's why, like, my ad revenue is as high as it is this month, right? Because, like, dude, there's no way I have that many random people. Like, I love my lurkers, but I don't think I have that many random people for me to have made that much money for the month of April. There's no way.
Yeah, and my assumption was, I didn't think it mattered, but I was kind of curious because honestly, I respect it, man. I respect it when a creator's like, hey, I need to run ads. I want to support. I need to support myself. This helps me support myself. And honestly, all the creators that I tend to want to support anyway, I'm already subbed to. So then they run the ad. I'm like, yeah, whatever. It's fine. Like, do your thing.
Run that shit. Fucking get that money, dude. I mean, dude, for like years, it's not really my tagline, but I would always say, let's get this bread. Like, fuck it. Like,
let's get me paid.
You got to do whatever it is to make money, right? Like, outside of Twitch, I think people seem to forget that I don't do Twitch full time. But like, the way I preach on Twitch when I say people should really, literally go get that bread, dude, secure the bag however you want. I'm going to support you as much as I can. I have China has all my information at this point. I have so many Raid Shadow Legends accounts, so many burner accounts, because so many of my friends were picking up that Stream Element sponsorship, and I was like, yo, I'm gonna keep making these accounts, bro. I don't care, because if I can help you out, I'm in there. So I'm all about that. I respect, like you said, I respect that, and I'm like that outside of Twitch too. I had a full-time job, and then I do. This is not very popular opinion on streamer Twitter as well, but I invest in real estate. I'm a landlord. people might get all twisted about that, but they don't know my story, so that's okay. Dude, do it. Get whatever fucking money you can out of it. And I really do truly believe this. I really think this. When somebody complains about the amount of ads someone runs, I'm like, dude, you're literally supporting somebody for free right now. I don't think you get to complain unless you really want to support them monetarily. Like, let them make their money, dude. Like, what is it to you to tab out for a couple seconds or couple minutes? I know I run mine for 3 minutes. I'm not gonna, sorry, people, but I run my ads for 3 minutes, and like, I'm sure in the 3 minutes that you tab out, I'm sure you can get something else done. Like, shit, dude. Don't complain about it. Think of the ad time as a great way to do something else while you're supporting someone.
Right.
Multitask, right?
Take a bathroom break.
Take a bathroom break.
Get a drink. Whatever.
There you go.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm a big fan of ads. Again, people are gonna get super twisted about it, but that's probably got to be one of my most unpopular takes is people hate ads. I don't see a problem. But yeah, that's me. I always tell people, dude, if you don't want to support multiple people, get Twitch Turbo.
Yeah, Twitch Turbo. That's what, like $8 a month, and you get no ads across the site, whole site,
the entire site.
Yeah,
the entire site, dude.
Yeah. So even if it's like, oh, I don't want to spend $5 on each creator, if you spend $8, you don't see ads across all of Twitch. I appreciate the perspective, and honestly, I think it's fair to say that most communities, if their favorite creator were to sit down and say, look, I'm gonna run ads because it helps my financial situation, or if it's I'm gonna take this deal, this particular sponsorship or ad deal, because I want to support myself. I mean, I feel like your community should generally have your back. And honestly, I run ads when I remember. I'm not on the scheduler though, because I know that if I'm on the scheduler, I'm gonna forget that it's gonna do an ad, and I'm gonna say something semi-important to my chat, and half of them will not hear it. But like I'm all about it. I'm all about that, like the whole ad thing. Like, it's weird. Like, I understand that it can be disruptive to viewers, but I feel like as a streamer and as creators, we can set the pace of that, and we can be honest with our community. And I think when you get to that point and communicate it, should all be good. Like, it should be fine. And I mean, if it is a big deal, yeah, maybe you could spend $8 on Prime or $5 on the channel, and you'll help them out that way. You don't see ads, or for free, you just sit there, you sit through a short ad. And
exactly. I wholeheartedly agree with you, right? Like, I think that should be a transparent conversation that we can have with our viewers and community.
Yeah.
I don't understand this. Ooh, hot take coming in, but I don't understand the obsession with seeing creators like struggle on every platform, right? Like, I feel like as soon as somebody takes like this massive deal, people will be like, dude, viewers and community and voices on the internet all around will be the first one to be like, damn, dude, they sold out. And I'm like, dog, you helped them get there. Like, is this not a good thing to celebrate? Like, do you want them to be struggling and be broke forever? And it's just,
right.
It's the craziest fucking thing I have ever seen. And I always joke that it's hysterical that there's a lot of streamers, a lot of very prominent ones that'll sit there and complain and say like, rich people are so detached from society, but dude, I see a lot of really bad takes that are also very detached from society coming from a lot of streamers because they haven't gone outside and I guess we can call it touched grass, but they haven't really done a lot of things outside of Twitch. So like, it's like who's really detached here, right? Like, people. I think I tweeted out once, like, hey, streamer Twitter, like, hot tip coming in. Every year, April 15th, your taxes are due, so don't have to tweet out there and make it your whole personality and act like you're the only one going through it. Like, people complain about everything, and then like, that shit blows my mind, right? Like, man. I think if I were to honestly advertise the fact that I had invested in real estate and did stuff like that, I would probably get chewed alive too. And it's like, dude, are you really going to get mad at an immigrant who came from the Philippines, who grew up poor? Are you going to get mad at him for doing everything he can to make money at this point? Like, I think people really need to get over like that image of struggling or doing things the right way, because there's never going to be one right way to succeed on this platform or in life in general.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I think I absolutely agree with you on all that. Val Conitron in the chat does say it all comes to how you make your money by exploiting others, and no, but by doing something that doesn't hurt anyone, sure, suit yourself. So yeah, absolutely. Like,
so I mean, yes, I think there's obviously a huge like moral compass that needs to be involved with that, right? But like I always talk about it, but like the property that I'm renting out right now, I'm literally catering towards traveling nurses, because the hospital that I was working at had this huge shortage. So like I'm literally getting that prepared for traveling nurses. Mm-hmm. And if anything, I'm basically taking money from the hospital, which we can all honestly understand that hospitals are businesses, as important as they are here in America. Mm-hmm. You know, they've got literally an unlimited amount of money. So if I can help a nurse stay somewhere without them having to pay for it because the hospitals are going to pay for it,
yeah,
is that not an ethical reason, an ethical way to make my money? Yeah. So when people are going to sit there and like judge right off the rip and be like, oh, you're a landlord, so you're the type of person that's going to take dimes and pinch pennies from people that really need a place to live, and I'm like, I'm not taking it from the people that are hurting the most, if I'm going to be honest. And on that note, a lot of the people closer to me would also know that I've also been considering getting my property ready. If for whatever reason the whole like traveling nurse thing takes a dip, which I don't see it happening. Mm-hmm. But if that happens, then I've actually been preparing to get the house ready for Section 8 housing, which would give housing to those that are in need, and I'd be taking money from the government. So really, like, people can sit there and complain all they want. Yes, there's going to be bad people that do things, but it doesn't make making money that way purely evil, right?
Right. I think that's the thing about how things aren't always as cut and dry as you would expect them to be, right? Like,
right,
making those judgment calls if you don't know the situation or the context of the situation. This is why things like Stream or Twitter definitely jumps to conclusions, or stuff like that happens. Like, people get judged for things, and sometimes people are right. Yeah, there's some people are being garbage about things. Other times people are making judgments about things they don't really fully either understand or know the full context of. And yeah, so I hear you on all of that. I believe that I like your takes, man. I'm like, oh man, Art posted something. This is gonna be good, probably.
It's like time to dive into it. Yeah, I'm like, I like to think that sometimes the takes that are most unpopular, or the ones that probably make the most sense, are actually the most unpopular ones, because people don't want to be seen liking or retweeting shit like that. Mm-hmm. And that's how I know I'm getting, because you can see how many, I mean, a lot of people hate it, but you can see how many people fucking saw your tweet. Yeah. You can see that now. So it's like, you see how many people like it or not. Like, you can see how many people saw it. You can tell how many people didn't fucking like it. Yeah. And, for me, it's like, okay, either people really didn't fucking like that, or they just don't want to be seen, interacting with this. Take it one of two ways. For me, all I'm doing is I'm spitting my mind out there is all it is. And honestly, as somebody who I used to work a day job. I haven't had one since December. And it's the fact that I learned how to diversify revenue and things like that give me this comfort and allow me to enjoy my mental health and all my free time, because time is one thing we're not going to have a lot of. That's the one thing for sure we run out of.
This is true.
So, yeah, money might not be everything, but it definitely allows me to do certain things that, you know, if I had been tied down to a day job, for sure, I wouldn't be able to enjoy things. Like I get to go to Japan in 2 weeks, dude.
Yeah.
Just because I want to. So yeah, man, money might not be everything. There's definitely a lot more important things, but for it, again, that's a really subjective subject that, you know, you got to do whatever makes you happy. And for me, I need to be able to value my time, you know.
Absolutely.
You know, things that respect my time is where I'm going to spend it, unlike Destiny 2. But neither here nor there.
You don't want to get into Destiny 2 because I think that, you know, I'm a fairly dedicated Destiny 2 player, as are a couple people who are probably hanging out in my chat right now. A lot of my Lego friends. We have a Destiny crew that raids together.
Yeah.
So, what have your latest Destiny adventures what has that entailed? I mean, I know what that's entailed, and I know why you feel the way you do about it. But tell me about how your Destiny 2 experience has been as of late.
I mean, okay, don't get me wrong, dude. I love Destiny. I got into it late. I got into it during the Taken King. When the Taken King launched, that's when I got the special edition PS4 that came with the bundle. It was dope. I loved Destiny 1. But currently, you know, I'm trying to get a certain helm. It's the cowboy hat.
The cowboy hat. Yeah.
And you know, it's not just because I want the cowboy hat in the game. It's because I am a certified country boy here in Illinois. But I just want that hat, dude. And I think it's ridiculous. We've been doing counts, like a rough count. But the last stream I had done like 25 runs, didn't get it. We know for a fact we ran it like for 4 hours the first day, didn't get it. Like we've been running it a lot. A lot more than I have ever run anything in my life.
How many clears have you done on that dungeon?
Oh, we don't clear it. We just farm the encounter.
Oh, you just farm the right. You just farm
just the spire part. Yeah, just the ascend. So like that's the only part, and I could not imagine having to clear it because then I would have done even less runs knowing that I didn't get it.
Right.
But fact of the matter is, this has to be a less than 1% chance of it dropping, which I think is completely unfair. And I don't think that's a really cool way to reward any of your players, especially for some of us that have other things to do in our lives. Because, dude, luckily, again, I get to do things on the fly, but I was supposed to leave for the Philippines tomorrow. And I was going to be gone for a whole week. And then after the Philippines, I go straight to Japan. I was going to be gone for a whole nother week. End of the season, then I don't get to farm the fucking hat anymore. Yeah. And I would only have to do it weekly. And God knows how long that's going to take me when I can't run it as much as I would, you know, as much as I can now, which is absolutely ridiculous to think about. Yeah. So it blows my mind that this is something that Bungie thought was a good idea, because I get the loot pool thing, but they should have a system in place where, like, after you've gotten almost everything in that loot pool, whatever you haven't gotten,
you should get.
Those rates should go up.
Yeah,
the rates for those should go up. Like, I get the RNG factor, like, fine, whatever, dude. But there needs to be something that rewards the players for their time, and the amount of time that we've spent on it, dude. And I've gotten nothing to show for it, dude. That's crazy, dude. My fucking Helm war table has got to have so many fucking engrams at this point because that counts as a seasonal thing. Yeah. So a good portion of the time, I'm getting 2 freaking engrams.
You probably got like a couple hundred in there at least. Yeah.
At this point, I mean, we're not even going to count the ones that I'd already dismantled. It's absolutely insane that I still haven't gotten it after what seems like, I want to say close to probably like 18 hours of farming.
Wow. That's
for
crazy.
a legendary. I would sooner understand it if it was for an exotic.
Yeah, if it was an exotic, I would expect that drop rate. But man, that is crazy. That because I've only been in that dungeon maybe 4 or 5 times. So I mean, I haven't gotten it. But the fact that you've spent 18 hours just farming that boss to get it, and you still haven't seen it. All right.
Everyone that's ran it with me got their fucking helms, man. everyone that's ran it with me got their fucking helms on like the third or fourth try. I shit you not.
Wow.
So I'm just sitting there like trying not to cry. I'm like, oh my god.
Oh no, dude.
Yeah.
No, I've
run it with me, man. I got you, bro.
That would be the luck, dude. I ran I've run King's Fall raid like 44, 45 times of just like killing Oryx, the final boss. Mm-hmm. And that's how many times it took me to get the exotic in that raid.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait.
I
can't remember the name of it, but it's got like the rag that sits on it, and it's got the spinny ball thing. That's a drop now?
Touch of Malice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a drop. I remember that being a quest.
Yeah. It took like 40. I think it was kill 44 or 45.
Oh my god.
And I'd been running it with my crew that many times. And I think I wasn't the last person to get it, but I was one of the last because like almost everyone else at that point, like ArcFox in chat freaking got 2 of them. Like,
damn,
and yeah, dude. it's kind of crazy. So it's really weird that like a legendary hat, not even an exotic, and you still haven't seen it. Like in 18
I still
hours.
haven't. Yeah, it's like it's painful, man, and it makes me things like that in any video game, not just Destiny, but anything that doesn't respect the player's time.
Yeah,
I suddenly start to have like a serious like disdain for, right? Because it's not even a matter of like, oh, I ran it this many times to get it. Like that's not even a flex anymore.
No,
because I know people that have gotten it, like I said, in the third or fourth try with me, and they got theirs. So it's not even like being able to say that you did it this many times is no longer a flex in that sense, right? Like, and again, you heard me talk about it earlier, but time is one of the most valuable things to me because, like I said, not to get dark, but I understand how fragile human life is, and I've lost a lot of people along the way. But it's just like this is one of the things that I now value the most. Absolutely. And the fact that there are video games out there, and unfortunately Destiny is right now among them, that don't value the player's time is like, to me, dude, that's not fun, because I know that there's a certain vocal minority when it comes to video games that says like, these experiences or these things are like way too easy and we finish it too fast. I'm like, dude, that's great for you. But for some of us, that's not like, that doesn't fit everyone's agenda. And I wish people understood that.
Yeah.
Cause yeah, dude, like I got better things to do than to fucking run Spire, day after day. And I can only do it right now because I happen to not have a day job, like a full-time day job, like I normally do.
Right.
So it's like, I could not imagine how much more painful this would be if I didn't have this amount of time. And somebody even came into my chat and said, I guess it's a good thing that you're in between jobs right now so that you can do this. I'm like, yeah, but wouldn't that be ridiculous if I did have a job right now? And how painful it would be for me to not get this, like to come home after a day of work, or, I usually would go to work and then I would go to jujitsu and get my shit kicked in for, 3 hours. But to do all that and then come here and then not get, not be able to enjoy the video game, like that's the worst fucking thing that could ever happen to me.
Yeah.
Is to fall out of love with like a video game, And unfortunately, that's like, I know that there's plenty of other things to do in Destiny, but like when you want a cosmetic,
but this is what the man wants. Like you're playing.
This is what I want, right? Yeah. Like how shitty is that to play something? Like if I wanted to do this, dude, I'd be at a fucking casino right now. Like I'd be playing something else. But that's not what Destiny is to me. I don't want to think of it as gambling my time to get something. Like that's shitty, dude. That's bad design outright.
Yeah.
I don't know if you agree with me because I know you are a game designer, but in my opinion,
I agree. I do agree with you. I think actually what Bungie has introduced with the raids would be ideal maybe for some of those harder to get items, which you can do challenges or you can do things that increase the potential drop rate for the exotic, which is a thing in the new raid. The Root of Nightmare is their challenges. Granted, they're pretty hard, but every one of them you complete, it increases the chance of the exotic drop. So like, I think that'd be really interesting for certain things that are harder to get. Or if there is like a built-in thing, like a freaking legendary, right? Where it would
Right.
take into account, oh, wow, this person has actually gotten almost everything from this loot table. Maybe they should get the hat because they've been in
Maybe
here
they shouldn't
for-
get another fucking set of legs, dude, because that's all I've gotten, man.
right? Exactly. So I feel like maybe there should be some kind of secondary like way to almost ensure the drops that you want from the given. Again, especially it's like exotics are already like super stupid hard to get, but like the fact that you're grinding for that a non-exotic that you've yet to see after 18 hours, that blows my mind, dude. So
Yeah. Yep.
yeah.
Yep. It
No,
blows
I get
my
it.
mind too. I don't know why I'm doing it, but
Well, if you ever want to do some raid content or PvP, let me know. Or if you do feel like you need a third person to get the hat before you, let me know.
dude, I'm down, man. I sadly fancy myself as a trials player.
Yeah.
So again, I remember guys, I said I like to have fun with my video games, and yet my video game choices just don't reflect that.
Yeah. You punish
Trials
yourself.
Trials. I just remember it from Destiny 1 being so fun, and I'm glad that they got it to a better place, because when Destiny 2 first came out, man, Trials of the Nine, nah, that shit was whack.
Yeah, dude.
But
yeah.
it's gotten to a really fun point, and I'm actually enjoying Trials now. But yeah, I don't get to do as many raids, and I kind of stopped doing raids for the reason that, like, again, it's a matter of time. And like, dude, Kingsfall, that's no easy feat, man. Like, that is not an easy raid. So for you to have run that 40 plus times, that's fucking crazy. Even with it, I remember what we got it down to a science. I had a crew in Destiny 1. We had that shit down pat. And it still took us damn near like 2 hours to clear, even if you have everybody doing everything that they should. Like, that's a hard fucking rate to get through, man.
Yeah, it is. I think it's about a 2-hour clear for us. What we do pad the stats a little bit in that sometimes we will get checkpoints and then we'll swap out characters for the final boss. But even then, like if we assume that every one of my clears was like that, which I don't think it is. So to even be generous, let's say half of those were full runs, 20 to 23 clears of
still a lot, man.
Still a lot. Yeah, no, yeah, exactly. Like we legit, like we put in the time. Like we were doing it for a while. We were doing it like most weeks for a while as a team, when we knew like we would find a night out of a given week where like you got a couple hours, let's go. Or sometimes I would get the random, we'd call it the destiny signal, which would be a picture of the like we have the emote of just like the logo, and you would just drop that in the group chat and it's like, oh, it's time, let's go. Yeah.
Oh man, that's
like,
awesome.
Get in the car, nerd, we're raiding, you know. But yeah.
I had just recently got into like a solid Destiny group, and shout out to the Mav Show. She's also another one of my closest friends, but it's like it's a guild of like her community, and a lot of people that play it. So they also welcomed me with very open arms, and I'm very thankful for that, because one of the community members is literally dedicated to just trying to get me this helm. And I'm like, bro, you can go do other things if you want, man. I learned how to do the opening sequence and the send by myself. And he goes, no, man, I get weapon XP for doing this, so I'm happy to help. And I'm like,
it's just leveling up weapons,
bro. Wow. Listen, if that makes you happy, dude, then I'm going to just say thank you, and we can keep running this. But
yeah.
I mean, they were so helpful in trying to get me this damn hat. I don't even know if I still want to get it, but like,
right
now I'm in this weird position where it's like I've wasted so much damn time.
It's almost a matter of principle, right? Like that's
how. Yeah, now if I quit, then it was all for nothing. And I'm
right. That's how I felt about the exotic. I was like, I think about 30 clears or 30 kills in. I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I want anymore, but now it's a matter of principle, because we've done it this much. Like, we can't not we can't not do it. And actually, I was lucky enough to have gotten my drop just before Lightfall came out, because we're like, we probably don't think we're going to be in here as much because we were doing it most weeks. But I remember thinking to myself when we went in, I was like, are we even going to care about this raid after Lightfall's out? I was like, whatever. And so we were just playing, we were doing our thing, and it dropped the last time we ran it before the new expansion came out. I was like, maybe that's a sign. And yeah, I was like, holy crap, 40 some kills on this boss. Finally got it. And I feel bad because one of our own, Shannon, still didn't get it, but she did get the exotic in Root of Nightmare. So I feel good that she at least got that.
Nice.
But man, it's Destiny's it's a good time. I enjoy playing it right now, and I'm having fun with it. And I do like to check in on you when you happen to be streaming it. I like to like peek in. I'm like, yep, he's still farming it. That's cool. I'm gonna leave.
He's still farming it.
Yeah, you say, yeah, I'll poke it. I'm like, oh,
damn it.
I'm like, okay, that sucks. I'll be like, yo, sorry, dude. Later. Man,
one of these days you're gonna pop in and it's just gonna be me running the spire, and I'm just gonna be crying. And
you'll just be crying and
yeah. One of these days, maybe I'll get a hat.
When you
maybe.
get it, if you get it, you could just leave your game capture up of your guy wearing the hat, and that's
just the hat. Yeah,
just the hat.
You know what? This is all you guys get. You get to see the hat in all its glory for 4 hours. That's it. I'm running my ad revenue. Your character's sitting in the tower wearing the hat, and then you just leave the ads running, and your subscribers and any Twitch Turbo subscribers will just get to see this character wearing a cowboy hat. So there it is. I mean,
man.
I've done some ridiculous things on. I mean, literally, I think it was the month of. I think it was February. I think it was January actually. That was one of the the streams where I literally left my stream on for like 48 hours because I needed to make the ad revenue for the incentive because for those that don't know, the ad incentives used to be like you have to stream X amount of hours for a month.
Yeah, there was a requirement.
And because I got stuck in the Philippines for a week because I lost my passport or my passport was stolen, whichever you want to take it.
Yeah.
I lost a whole week of streaming time. So I was like, bro, when I get back, I was planning on just streaming every day for a couple hours like I normally do. We would have been fine.
Yeah.
But I literally just left Placid Duck Simulator. I don't know if you're familiar.
I remember this. I did remember seeing this.
It was just a stream of just digital virtual plastic ducks spawning in. And we were like, fuck it. Let's see how full this thing can get.
Yeah.
And that was my stream for a bit. And I felt so bad because we had a couple like big raids come in on like hours that I was like sleeping.
Oh my
or
God.
When I was like out running errands, like doing my real life shit.
Yeah.
And I felt so bad. And I'd get a DM. People are like, dude, are you okay? And I'm like, oh yeah. No. I just left my stream on because I'm trying to get ad revenue.
God damn it. Man, what the hell?
To be fair, it said that in my title, dude. I was like, bro, I'm just fucking ad revenue.
My God, that's so ridiculous, dude. I can't believe you.
So don't give me ideas because I'll do it, man.
No, man.
I mean, we folded laundry on stream before. Like we've done it all on here.
Have you done like a straight up sleep stream?
No, I consider the plastic duck thing kind of that already because I would also leave that on during the hours that I would sleep. But I don't want to sleep on camera.
You don't want to sleep on stream?
Hell no, nah, dude.
Yeah.
First things first, I roll around a lot, so that's like just not a great view. But also, I don't sleep for very long. So
okay,
I don't think it would even be that exciting. I sleep for maybe 3 hours tops,
yeah.
Maybe 4 if I'm if I'm really out. But like that's usually even on nights that I get shit faced, I sleep for even less.
Wow.
So like I don't really get a lot of sleep, man.
Man, I'm useless if I don't get like a good 6 to 7. Anything
really?
Anything less than like 6, I have such a hard time functioning. Like I have to be downing caffeine and like doing my best to focus because just like I can't. So yeah, for me it's like 6 hours or bust. So it's
Damn.
yeah, dude.
So,
Yeah,
so that's pretty normal for most human beings, though.
yeah.
Again, I'm not.
You're like
I
I'm
don't know.
not normal.
For me, it's been like that for as long as I remember. But I should probably like people are like you should probably get that checked out. But I'm like, but it hasn't affected me negatively yet.
Wow.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you think about it, in this space that we're in, right? I think it's probably the most useful trait I have because
Honestly, yes.
the amount of time content creation takes, that's a lot.
Yeah.
And I clown on him a lot because he's really cheesy nowadays, but well, I guess he's always been cheesy. But Gary V, one of the things that he said actually fucking resonated with me among the many things that didn't. But he does say, like, you know, you work for 8 hours a day, you spend maybe 2 of those hours commuting somewhere and back, right? Like maybe if it's an hour commute. So that's 10 hours out of your day. If you go to the gym, maybe that's another like hour or 2 hours, depending on how long you work out. So that's like 12 hours. That's half of your day. So what's going on with the other 12? Right. If you sleep for another 8, then that's fine. Like I get it. Then you're really tough on time. But for somebody like me, I was like, bro, I don't sleep nearly that much and I don't really commute anymore. So like all these extra hours in the day, I have so much time to do things at night when the rest of the world is asleep. That's when I get a lot of my work done.
Get stuff done,
you know, especially for content creation, for sure. Yeah, I'm just built different.
Man.
No, so I always tell people when people are like, you should get that checked out. I'm like, no. No, I'm good.
Man. Well, definitely I couldn't do it. So I applaud you for being able to function like that regularly because I I'll do like a 24-hour stream and I am so wiped out. Like I would do that for like charity and I'd be like, you know what? Like I didn't do it last year because I was like, it's
a lot, bro.
It's
that's
too much.
Lot. It's very taxing. And that's like,
it is.
I mean, I'm not I should be the last person talking about things healthy, but like, it's just not healthy.
It's true.
It's like not healthy to run a 24-hour shift. I kind of wish, and I'm glad to see a lot of people moving away from it. Like they're not as popular as they used to be. But I remember when those were like the height of hype, I guess that was like the flavor of the month was to be running like these 24-hour streams or whatever, or like really doing like dedicated like subathons that didn't include the sleep part. Like I was like, man, that shit's mad unhealthy. And like, again, I'm not the pinnacle of health or anything.
It's true. It's really difficult, man. It is taxing. It's incredibly taxing on the body to just be doing that, being up that long and, not being as active or just hanging out that whole time. And then usually when you're also streaming, some people tend to don't take as good care of themselves anyway, right? Like they don't either eat or drink as much as they should. So it just becomes becomes this whole thing, dude. And so
I'm mad guilty of that, dude. Because I'll pop onto the stream.
Yeah,
I'll pop onto the stream when I'm done doing all my other shit, outside of stream, and I'll have forgotten to have eaten during all of my other errands and all my other stuff, all emails and stuff. And then I'll pop on the stream because I'm like, all right, dude, it's time to kick back. And then I'll go for another like 3 or 4 hours. And before I know it, it's the end of the day. I'm like, dude, I've only eaten coffee today. So it's like,
gotta take care of yourself, right, dude. Gotta take care of yourself, man.
Exactly. So like, that's why again, I'm not the pinnacle of health here, and I really shouldn't. I'm in no place to be giving any type of health advice.
Yeah.
Because again, I will go an entire day without eating. I will still eat, but I'll go an entire day without eating. I don't sleep for a long time.
Yeah.
And then also all of my sports hobbies is just getting the shit kicked out of me, like jujitsu and kickboxing. So like, again, I'm not the guru of health here, but man, if I'm the person saying like, even if I'm saying like 24-hour streams or like really long streams is unhealthy, like that's how you know something's wrong. Like that's how you know it's unhealthy,
Yeah. Gotta drink that water, man. Gotta drink that water.
Gets yelled at. I mean, look, dude, I got this great idea.
Okay.
I had this great business idea, and I was like, man, maybe I should start telling chairs. Because I have a Camelback.
Yeah.
Strapped to the back of my chair. Because the one thing I hate is getting up. I do drink a lot of water, but I hate getting up So I'm like, dude, fuck it. Here's 3 liters of water, and I
So
just
you
strapped it to the
just
back of my
keep it-
chair. You never have to get up. You don't have to leave very far. Like, you can
That's
still get up and
actually a
stretch.
great idea. Like, I feel like you could like tweak that and market that to gamers and or streamers,
Oh, you absolutely can, because they'll buy anything, dude.
right?
They will buy. And do you see how many people have fucking gamer chairs?
Yeah. I feel like you should come up with a thing that.
Sorry, you're not taking offense to that. You're not using gamer chair, are you?
No. No,
Oh,
mine's
yeah,
just
smart
like
man.
mine's just like an office chair with a blanket on it. It's fine.
Yeah, see, like, it's crazy to me that people buy into fucking gaming chairs because they are the worst. They might be the worst
They're
thing
not good
for you.
They're not good for
They're
you usually.
awful.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah. Since like 2017, I had been using this chair, and then I took on 2 different gaming chairs. I took like a really generic one. I kind of expected that to be what it was, which was shit. Ended up moving back to an office chair.
Mm.
And then I got the Vertigear one.
Mm.
Are they still a company? Are they still a thing?
I don't know. Actually, I haven't heard of
Because they got mad
about them in a while.
They got
Maybe not.
mad canceled.
Yeah. I don't think they're around anymore because I haven't seen anything about them since all that went down. I'm trying to think. I haven't seen anything.
I'm gonna have to check that out. I want to see if they're still around. But yeah, so I had that chair, and I got that one for free. You know, so shout out to St. Jude. I don't think they knew what was going to happen when they had worked with Vertigear to get those chairs out, and I'm sure St. Jude didn't buy them. You know, I'm sure Vertigear donated them to all the people that reached that certain threshold for the reward season. But that chair was also ass. I hated it. I was like, dude, get this shit out of here. So now I'm back to this lovely office chair that I've had since 2016. And I didn't buy it. I kept it because the office that I worked at got a bunch of new furniture.
Yeah.
And I was like, what are you guys going to do with the chairs? They're like, we're just going to return them to the company that, you know, we bought them from. I'm like, can I keep mine? And they just like turned the other way. And I just walked away with my chair when we got the new stuff. And dude, still running strong. So, you know, I'm not going to tell people how to spend their money when they get started here on streaming, but I will say, don't bother with gaming chairs. That is one of the more popular clips on my TikTok. Don't get a flaming gaming chairs, man. Because somebody was talking about like how they almost got like the mesh office chair at Costco, which I think is like $50. Somebody I don't know. But they have office chairs, and you can get a really cheap one at Costco for like $50 or some shit. And I was like, bro, you could get that at Costco, and you can walk away with a hot dog for $1.50, all under the price of one gaming chair, like a fraction of a price of a gaming chair.
Yeah,
like, come on, dude. You're like that. It's a no brainer. Like, I don't know why people buy the gaming chairs. I gave it a shot.
Yeah,
they're trash. There's not a single good one. I did try Secret Labs, and everyone's like, oh, Secret Labs is great. I'm like, all right, man, I'm gonna give it a shot. And I went to somebody's house who had one. I sat in it. I was like, this chair's ass. It's terrible. There's no good gaming chair. I mean, anybody can sit here and challenge me. Anybody can sit here and try to change my mind otherwise, but I have never found a good gaming chair ever.
Yeah. No, I like office chairs. Just have a reasonable cushion on it, and you know, hopefully some reasonable back support, and I'm good, man. So, but I still think you should make an attachment to any chair that would allow you to strap like a jug of water to it for gamers.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Dude, you're absolutely right. I
Make
mean,
it happen.
We were joking about making it a whole chair, but maybe the attachment might be
just make it. Yeah, I mean, you're using a Camelback. It's just like make something not unlike that, but that makes like
it's gotta have lights on it, dude. That's all that matters. It's just gotta have lights on it, bro.
And it syncs to your PC, right? So like, yeah,
dude.
There you go. All the money is like not like when they pay for it, they're not really even paying for like the straps and the jug and all. It's like all the lighting that goes on the thing. That's where you're not paying exactly. You're paying for the lights, guys. Come on, man. That's usually what it is when it comes to like gamer stuff. Is you're paying to flex, man. You're paying to flex with your light up drink chair attachment. So there it is. Yeah, partner with an energy drink. No, I don't know if I appreciate that. I'm gonna stop the idea there. It depends.
I mean, it's a joke between me and my community that I try to get sponsored by Rain energy drinks because I really do like their stuff.
Yeah.
I used to drink a lot of Bang, but that was before I found out how terrible of a company they are, and they were really annoying in the convention space. I don't know if you've ever been to conventions where Bang was there.
No,
but dude, mad annoying. They just no respect for any of the other booths around them, and they're just playing loud ass music all the fucking time.
Oh.
And I was like, man, that's really annoying. Like, I get what your product is trying to sell, but this is like not the space to do it. Ended up making that switch. I like Rain. Yeah, I know. And I mean, politically, they're just not a really cool company anyways. So trying to vote with my dollars there.
There you go.
But yeah, I joke about trying to get energy drink endorsements, but I feel like all the inquiries or offers that I've gotten were all from like companies that I don't fuck with.
Right.
So I'm just like, nah.
All right. And there's that whole thing of like, you want to be able to promote something that you yourself actually use and or endorse, which is, I think, the challenge for a lot of folks is like, it's cool that like, cool, you got a sponsorship, but like, can you legit vouch for that, whatever it is, if it's an energy drink or if it's a chair company? Like, do you stand by like the company? Because you're representing the company if you're shilling your stuff. And that's kind of one of the things that I always have felt like I take that stuff super like seriously. Like when I get approached by places, it's like, I would never use this product, so I can't really endorse it. So, you know, it's a principle thing.
As you should.
Yeah.
As Absolutely. You should. I mean, I was chasing Corsair for a long time. And I still use their products to this day, except for their keyboard, because again, St. Jude had sent us these wonderful drop control keyboards, and probably the best keyboard I've ever used. But before that, I had 2 Corsair keyboards, with both which fucking broke. I've gone through about 7 Corsair mice. So now I'm like, okay, well, I'm kind of done with Corsair stuff after this run, because my Corsair mouse is about that time where it's about to start giving out. Like the switch keeps double clicking. I don't understand it. I don't know what's happening. I have to blow on it like a fucking NES cartridge, just so that it stops double clicking. But yeah, I remember chasing them for a sponsorship, and they turned me down because I was a Just Dance streamer.
Yeah,
and they're like, we're particularly looking for people that can show off the hardware. And I'm like, who in your communities is showing off the hardware? Like, not everybody has fucking cameras on their hands. Yeah. Like, they know that, right? But I thought it was fucking hilarious because, again, they own Elgato. And as a Just Dance streamer, dude, I use the Stream Deck all the time. I used to use I used to have a green screen set up before I decided to show off my wall of shame.
Yeah.
And I used to have the roll up green screen, and I was like, dude, I use all of your freaking products like all the time. Outside of Corsair, at least let me talk to Elgato. But they were so adamant on catering to, I guess, hardcore gamers, basically just FPS players. And I'm like, wow, isn't that crazy how I was in the top 10% of Tarkov streamers, a couple years ago?
Yeah.
And, you didn't want to work with me. How crazy is that? Like, man, I don't know. Like you said, it's so hard to make those decisions or even think about working with a company that you got to throw cape for, because, man, I don't think I could do it for Corsair right now if they were to knock on my door and be like, listen, we're ready to sponsor you. Yeah. I'd be like, no, dude, your mice is kind of garbage, man. And also the way you treated me a couple of years back is also garbage. So I don't think I would ever want to work with you. So.
Understandable, dude. Like, I mean, I use a lot of Elgato stuff, and I've been pretty satisfied with the Elgato things. I do have a Corsair keyboard that has, on occasion, kind of like, I don't know if it's I don't know specifically the problem, but on occasion, it thinks I might be holding down an input that it's not actually holding down. So like my fire team in Destiny will be like, "Why are you still running?" Like my guy's like running, and it's because like I'm like I'm not, but the keyboard thinks I am, and the key's not physically stuck. It's just thinking I'm holding down W or S. Like one time I got stuck like running backwards. I'm like, the S key's not locked in. Like, and I'm sitting there tapping it, and the only way I could fix it was I had to like unplug and plug it back in, and it reset itself, and it was fine. Happens from time to time, but that's been my experience with the keyboard.
Yeah, man, there's something wrong with their switches. And again, sorry, Corsair, if anybody from Corsair sees this. Listen, I rode with you guys for a couple years, man. I will say, audio-wise, probably still some of the best.
Oh yeah,
best headphones that I've used. But yeah, like I don't know what it is with their switches, man. I don't know what it is with their switches. It's hard to think of any like. Again, it just puts into perspective how hard it is to ride for any company that you think you would sponsor, because I don't even think I would want to work with Elgato, because I went through 2 of their cam links. The USB stick. Those things are garbage. They overheat like bad. Like I don't know what it is, but I remember the first time I ran into that issue, I just decided, all right, fuck it, I'm just gonna buy another one because I have a stream tonight. So I literally just shelled out the cash for one. Only for it to die out. 2 of them died out in 1 year. So I was like, that's absolutely crazy. Like, what is happening here? And I found out it's an overheating issue, and they still haven't addressed it, because somebody else I know, their cam link just died, and I was like, is it overheat? Like, is it mad hot when it does that? And they're like, yeah, it's like insanely hot. I'm like, okay, well, here's what I did to fix it, and all I did was I bought another capture card, like a full-size capture card, like one of the regular ones. And that solved the issue. So I was like, clearly there's something wrong with the cam link. They do the same thing. A capture card and the cam link, they're both just ways to capture video.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how I solved it. And
crazy.
Then figure, they came back to me like, yeah, dude, that worked. And I was like,
yeah, I have their internal capture card. And that one has not given me issues, but I've never done like their USB one. So
I also have the internal one. That one also has yet to have any problems.
Yeah.
So I'm there. I'm right there with you. But that is that's still such a considerable price tag compared to the Cam Link, which is the one that they advertise as the one that you should use for your cameras.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's crazy, dude. Man. Dude, you've been doing this for a long time. You got stories for days.
I can talk for hours. I can talk for days, brother.
My main question right now is, in all of your experiences creating content and just doing what it is that we do here, what would you say is the most fulfilling thing about your time here as a creator?
Dude, it's got to be the charity work. I know we haven't talked about it nearly enough, but yeah, it's got to be the charity work that my community has come together and accomplished. A lot of people will sit there and be like, "Oh, it's so cool that the AznSensation has raised that." It's not me, bro. I'm only a vessel for this. But it's really the communities that come together and get this whole thing started and get it done, and that, without a doubt, to me is probably one of the coolest things, because for those that don't know, my most recent job that I had quit was working with kids in a hospital. And it was all video game related. So I was basically brought in to overhaul and install and basically put together a whole new entertainment program for kids in the pediatric unit. And to say that this hospital was miles and miles behind in terms of technology is like an understatement, because they were still on 360s, dude.
Wow.
I mean, I just turned 32.
That's decades old.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. That's what I was using when I was in high school, moving into college. So it was like, dog, those are old machines, man. And it's like they were wondering why they don't always work. I'm like, well, dude, these are all mechanical. These were all everything's going to get old at some point. And if these things are unsupervised and whatnot. So basically, yeah, dude, after doing charity work for a couple years on Twitch and having a lot of success doing that, I decided to kind of put myself onto the front line of the receiving end of all that charity work. So I got to work with a lot of charities, and I got to receive a lot of donations from a lot of charities to help make that dream happen. And it was really cool. I unfortunately left due to differences with the upper management in the hospital, but I wish I could get another go at it for a different hospital.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, after being up close and personal and being able to be the person that receives those donations to put it in the hands of the actual, to put it in the actual hands of the patients and kids that would use them,
Mm-hmm.
man, it makes me appreciate the amount that the dollars get stretched during those charity streams, to see where all that money goes and to see the actual outcome of it. That to me is probably the most fulfilling, probably one of the coolest things about everything that we've done in the past, couple of years. I want to say, it would be easy to say the past 11 years, but realistically, we didn't get into the charity stuff until 2018. But
Right.
Even for the past couple of years, to raise the amount of money that we have, that to me is super. That's the one thing I'm for sure going to take to the grave with me. The day we end, the day I call it quits on Twitch, that's for sure going to be my greatest accomplishment for sure.
That's awesome. And for me, charity, I'm with you 100% on that. That's one of the coolest things that we could do with our, with our communities. And I think as any creator and streamer grows, we kind of have this, I hate to say it, but responsibility, right? We can use our ability to get the word out on things for very positive concepts, right? And doing charity work, I think, is quite easily one of the greatest things that us as streamers could do. And again, like you, that's kind of what got me into it. Really paying attention to the streamer space was oh, I can take my time on stream playing a game or doing something on camera and then raise money for a good cause. That's a no-brainer for me. So
yeah, for sure. And yeah, like you said, we should be able to use our platforms to say, to spread good and bring attention to things. I feel like there's again, as humans, I think we tend to, navigate towards the negative stuff, which that's, again, you end up on Twitter long enough, you end up doom scrolling, and that's all you're going to see. I do wish things were a little bit better. And I still think video games get a bad rep in mainstream media.
True.
I think it's just now starting to turn the page where people are starting to realize that it's not so man, do you remember when GTA was enemy of the state?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God,
I remember they had such a target on them.
And Mortal Kombat. Yeah.
God, it was a big deal that these games just existed and that they were so horrible, right? And so yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy. And then look where we are now, right? They're the hours sunk into gaming media eclipses a lot of things like movies and TV right now. So
oh yeah, for sure. And I mean, oh God, I can't remember which year it was, but I want to say it was either 2016 or 2017. But I remember when League of Legends Worlds had broken viewership across the world, and the funniest thing was people weren't amazed at the numbers. People were amazed that people were tuning in to watch video games.
Yep.
I was like, dude, you fucking clowns will sit there and watch and scream at football games like you're the coach. Why can't we do that for video games?
Yeah.
Don't sit there and knock it if you're doing the exact same thing on the other side. The difference is we get to play the video games that we're watching. Obviously not professionally, but we get to still play that game. Dude, right. I can guarantee you that if we took a whole stadium from the Super Bowl that I would say probably 70% of those people probably don't even get up to play football. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So it's like, why wouldn't we watch this sport being televised for free of all things? I know the Super Bowl is free, but not all sports are free. You know, like not every cable package comes with ESPN. So like, why wouldn't we if it's free? You know? So it still blows my mind that people can't wrap their head around that simple concept because, again, they lack perspective.
Mm-hmm. What's next for you? What's next for you and your channel? I mean, we kind of got we touched on it a little bit potentially with the Warhammer stuff, but like, where are we going with this channel and your content?
I know we talked about like trying it out and stuff, but honestly, I've been having this discussion more and more on my channel, and this is going to be the complete opposite of, you know, what most people would take this time to advertise, but like I've really truly been talking about like calling it quits because dude, it's 11 years, man. I've been doing this for a long time. I've been doing it for a long time. I've been through the lows, I've been through the highs. I think to look back on everything and honestly see everything that we've accomplished, I think anybody that wouldn't be happy with that list of things that I've accomplished would be honestly just like miserable. I wouldn't know what that would be like because I can look back at everything that I've done on Twitch and just say like, holy shit, I can't believe I did that. You know, I've gotten on front page multiple times. Again, my fucking face was in Times Square, dude. Like that, dude. I mean, that doesn't
thing for some folks, dude. That's amazing.
Yeah. It's a bucket list for some people to just visit Times Square.
Yeah.
But to have my fucking face plastered on it, like that's like if we just sit there for a second and think about like that's wild. You know, I got to do like the charity stage stuff at TwitchCon when we still had TwitchCon. I know we're getting back into it, but like the last time we really had TwitchCon, and again, the amount of money that we raised for charity so far, you know, particularly for sick kids in the hospital, like that's never going to get old to me. And I think that's something I'm always going to be like super proud of. So I don't know. Like I said, I think I've seen and done everything that I needed to do. And I think that if my Twitch career were to end tomorrow, that it wouldn't be such a bad thing for me. So yeah, I really don't know what the next thing is.
Yeah.
But I feel like more and more as I move on, I just start to think like I think it's time to move on. Again, I have so many, and I don't want to say it's not like Twitch isn't important to me, but it is just a matter of I have more important things to do. So I think maybe at a point when I get back to a more stable place, but like again, I'm too busy doing other things like real estate. I'm too busy doing other things like, you know, just outside of Twitch in general.
Right.
So I wish I knew the answer to your question, but for the past 11 years of doing this on Twitch, I have never had that. Like, I've never thought about like, where am I taking this next or what am I going to do? It's literally been like, I wake up and I'm like, fuck it. I feel like doing, you know, one day I just felt like doing Just Dance, or one day I just felt like playing League of Legends. And one day I just felt like making these switches. Right. I will say we've been doing just like very small and modest like sub goals, literally just to pay for like streaming, like music streaming services. But like if we hit those goals, then it pays for basically the streaming service that we would like. I would just turn up on stream. Literally, we just get absolutely shit faced. But I'll also start DJing because I used to be a DJ for weddings and events and stuff. So I would literally just play music, and it would be like it's some of the best vibes that I've ever had. So like, if that's what continues to bring people over or that keeps my viewers happy, then, you know, we just keep doing that. Like, it's whatever they want, man, honestly.
Nice. Hey, I appreciate the honest answer, especially since you've been doing this for so long. And like you said, you've just accomplished so much in your time doing this. You have a streaming career that you can look back on and say, yeah, I pulled off some cool stuff, some amazing things happened. So, you know, for that, I want to thank you. You've provided me with hours of entertainment and just fun place to hang out while I'm on Twitch. So thank you for that, Art. I appreciate it.
Man.
I really do.
Dude, that's so nice. You didn't have to say that. I'm not trying to cry right now. What are you doing to me, man?
I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean to.
What are you doing to me?
I'm not crying. You're crying. Twitch.tv/AznSensation. If you don't know Art and what he does over there, I implore you to check him out. And you don't know what you'll find. Let's be honest. It could be him farming on Destiny 2. Could be him DJing. He could be dancing. Who knows? That's part of the fun.
It's anything and everything.
Yeah, it's part of the fun. But thank you for everything you do. I'm glad that we got the chance to kind of cross the streams, cross paths, and talk about what it is you do, man. And thank you for all that you do. You have a fantastic channel, a fantastic community. I appreciate it. I really do.
Dude. Yeah, dude. Thank you so much. I appreciate those words. I really do. Anytime anybody gives me a compliment on anything, again, it makes everything so worth it, you know. And like I said, you know how hard it is to do any of this, you know, to do literally to just figure out audio. You know, we were having audio problems earlier, just to figure out the audio problems. But like to get any type of compliment, or when anybody says anything that like you know, your channel helped me do this, or your channel was the reason why I did this, like that means a lot, man. So I really appreciate that. And thank you for having me here, because like I said, I got a lot of takes. I say things a lot differently with a little bit less sugar coating than most people put it. And it's just like, you know, a lot of people find that to be, you know, a little bit of a liability. You know, it's gotten to the point where somebody literally didn't want to be friends anymore because I kept shitting on Elden Ring and Dark Souls games. And they were like, I was like, dude, if you really can't handle a different perspective or opinion on things, we don't got to be friends no more. Like that, if that's your energy, you know? And I was like, that shocked me. I was like, really? Just because I don't like the same games you do? And it's just, you know, it's not the same for everybody. So I appreciate you having me here, having these open-minded discussions and being able to have people with very different perspectives on things, dude. It's a really nice breath of fresh air.
I appreciate that, man. That means a lot for you to say that. So thank you for that. One final thing I always have the guests do for the episode is I like to give you the floor to say anything you'd like for your closing thoughts, closing words that you might have for anyone that's either watching this live right now or who happens upon this episode later. What would you like to end on?
Listen, man, I don't have much other than like, I don't know, just be good. Just be a good person. You know, that's all I have. And that's all that's ever gotten me to where I am today. Like literally, like if we follow the history of me being an immigrant here, and it's literally just been, I've gotten so many opportunities out of just being a good person. That's all it is, man. And people are always asking for business advice, or they're asking for streaming advice. And all I can say is the best thing that I ever learned was literally just be a good person, be yourself, be a good person. That's it. That's it. That's the cheat code. That's my cheat code, was just to be nice with people, obviously without any ulterior motives, you know?